Hey folks, Twisted Christian, Julius here. Just going to talk a little bit about the elections and kind of a little bit what's going on. And also I'm going to give an update on Zion Oil and Gas and Brixton Metals. The prophetic Kim Clement, what I believe is the Kim Clement prophetic stock BBB. So folks, right now things kind of seem chaotic and they seem like things are going one way. This very well could be a storm that we're getting ready to get into. From what I see, this thing is either going to be ended by Friday, or this thing is going to be drawn out, maybe even for weeks. So we very well may see that. And I know there's a lot of issues in Wisconsin and a lot of issues in Michigan, where suddenly the lead changed from the president to the former vice president. And I'm not going to get into all that, but there's going to be some issues. And you're probably, more than likely, if it's not settled by Friday, you're going to see some court battles going on. So this thing may very well be drawn out. Now, which we have to pay attention, because this, when I try to talk about, investments and, looking at news and, the 8 wells and just, I have a lot of different subjects that I talk about. But most importantly, the ones that's going to help us, bring the kingdom of God here on earth is getting to a financial point in your life to where you can be free to do those things and free to live out your dreams. And if there's a lot of uncertainty, even today with the stock markets were up. But even with the uncertainty, it seems like the stock market seems like it's doing very well, because to them it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way it goes, because just from the research that I've done, as long as you have a Republican Senate, regardless who the president is, nothing is going to get done. So the way that the stock market is looking at it, it doesn't matter either way. Because things will remain the same. If the House remains with the Democrats, then things will just remain the same as they are. So, but I also see in this too as well, I see a lot of fluctuation, and whether or not, especially dealing with other investments that we're in and how the elections can influence the stocks that we own. Say, for instance, Zion Oil. There are times when it has been influenced by the stock market, and there are times when it hasn't been. So during this time period, since we know the end, because I look at this with the prophetic and what, especially dealing with Kim Clement in the beginning and the end. And what did he say about the president? Right? So I don't have to worry about however it's going to happen, however it's going to come, it's going to come. We have to focus on what's ahead of us, especially, in our own lives. There's a lot of us that are listening to this channel. We have dreams, we have goals, we have projects, we have businesses that we want to do. There's debts that some of us have to take care of. There are just so many different things that we need to change in our lives. And one of those things that we need in order to make a lot of those changes is the finances in order to be able to do it. Folks, it's going to stress you out. It doesn't matter what side you're on. This whole thing is the whole election thing is going to be very stressful if you're really paying attention a lot. If you're paying a lot of attention to it, it's going to be very stressful for you. So we don't want to take time out from watching the stock markets or looking for new investments or doing research. And especially like there can be a lot of uncertainty in the markets, especially if this thing drags out. And we should be able to, no matter what stocks you're investing in, we need to pay attention and focus more on our investments, because we know who the winner is going to be in the end. And I know to a lot of people it doesn't look good in the things that we understand. And it's just, I was thinking, I was like, there's this high expectation that we're going to some type of gold-backed system or a asset-backed system. We really didn't hear a lot about that. and we know that he wants to be just because of his nominations to the Fed. You know, they support gold standard, but we didn't hear too much about that. And I think that if the president was going to do that, or that should have been something definitely that should have been discussed in going to a gold standard. You know, we didn't really hear too much, hardly on that at all whatsoever. And so I was thinking, well, what if the president doesn't win? Well, what's going to happen to a gold back or asset-based system? Of course, it's never going to happen. So you might see some uncertainty, maybe even with certain items with the precious metals markets. You know, you might see some fluctuations with that. And that's why I say that. And that's why I'm going to bring up Brixton Metals. So let's focus what we have in front of us, especially when it concerns, because we know we are approximately a week away from the Zion Oil ship showing up. So we need to make sure we have all our ducks in a row. You know, making sure that if you guys are, you know, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm talking to those who already have Zion Oil and Gas. At least myself, I'm doing everything I can. If I have the opportunity to buy more, that's what I am going to do. So just you know, we have to be strong and just wait to see. So what I'm saying is that if we don't have any type of official word by Friday, I really think that this thing is going to really drag out. And with what's going on in Michigan and Wisconsin, I think we actually might see some court battles going on there. They're already talking about doing a recount, so that just remains to be seen. Okay, folks, I'm going to go ahead and give you an update on Zion Oil and Gas. And it closed out around 44 cents. Its low was 42.5 cents. Its high was almost 47 cents. And so right now, you know, with it today being November the 4th, this was the second day, or the day that the ship may or may not leave to go to start heading to Israel. But I'll show you that here in a second. So for me, I am trying to buy more. Now, looking back at the stock over the last week, I do see there probably would have been some opportunities to really get out of Zion Oil on Webull and Robinhood. And just not knowing what kind of news that we were going to receive and taking that chance of a just in case. I didn't sell those off, but I just kept buying more on my other platform. And that's what I'm going to continue to do, is just continue to buy. So I do expect some rises and dips within Zion Oil when the ship is in route to Israel. I think maybe when we see the ship that it's on the move, we may see that. I don't think that the reason why I think Zion Oil gave us the information about the ship, because they were going to be receiving so many emails on a daily basis. You know, what's the status of the ship, where is it at, and so forth. So they were able to give customers that information. I mean, they were able to give investors that information, so we're able to track it. So they're not receiving, you know, hundreds of emails every day wanting to know and update what was going on with the ship. So I don't expect an official announcement from Zion Oil, at least for 24 to 48 hours after the ship has arrived. Right? I think once they get things moving, once everything has been accounted for, you know, all the pieces to the drill is there, I think that they will make, that's probably around the time they will make that announcement. Just going back in history and looking at how they, the information that they do give us, it's not going to be on the same day, or at least within 24 hours for verification. And you got to verify that the ship that's in the port has your rig on it, right? You got to go through and do your inventory check. You got box 1 through, 50, whatever. So I believe the announcement will come when they know they have all of their equipment. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look to see where the ship is at. And obviously from where we're sitting right here, it's sitting at the port, so it's loading and unloading. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be trying to look for exit points This week maybe. I mean, once we see the ship, BBC Bangkok is leaving Constanta port. I believe, I do expect some type of rise in the stock because we know that it's on its way. So I believe what we're really going to see is maybe some type of jump, and then we won't really see the big jump really until they get the rig to Israel. So today's the 4th. Today's the 4th of November. So this is the day that the rig was supposed to depart. And I think I shared in my last video, I think we're seeing about maybe a 12 or 15 hour delay. And because this is the day it was supposed to leave. So I don't expect the ship to get there at least until maybe the 11th if there's a delay. Right, you got to remember they are ahead in time. So right now it's the 5th already in Romania. So far I'm just going to say that there's just at least 1 day delay, which means that the on-site rig arrival wouldn't start until the 13th. So, and that's what, in watching this, like I said, there may be delays in this whole thing. That's where you got to watch, so that also too, so if you are day trading Zion Oil and Gas, those are the types of things that you're going to be looking at. Okay, there's going to be another day delay. So as I said before, potentially we could see the trading week of November 9th, a big week, and we still could. And if there's no more delays, that could be a big week, maybe even going into Monday. But if there's another day, or if there's at least another day or day and a half delay, then we should see November the 16th. That should be a big week for Zion Oil and Gas, in my opinion. All right, and I do want to talk a little bit about Kim Clement's prophetic stock BBB, Brixton Metals. It is a precious metals stock. So currently, Brixton Metals closed out at 24 cents, and it is actually coming down from its high of 41, almost 42 cents several months ago. So it's been basically on a steady decline. And I don't know exactly what is going on with Brixton Metals as far as the reasons why it is going down. And just looking at some other news, press release that just came out today, Brixton Metals closes $2 million private placement with Mr. Robert Friedland. And they got some news about joint ventures. Let's see here. They're sampling silver and cobalt from its surface at the Langus project, and mobilized drill to site. So there's a few things there, and I think one of the biggest ones is the Hog Heaven project. And if you guys just want to go check that out, and I would like to do an in-depth video on what has been going on with Brixton Metals for the last couple months, and so that way I could get a better insight. I just haven't had a chance to really sit down and look at all the news and see what's going on with it. I think Brixton Metals, since we do believe in some type of asset-based system that is coming, it's going to be one of those stocks that is going to take off because it is a prophetic Kim Clement stock. Whether or not BBBXF is one of the missing 8 wells, it very well could be, and I'm going to discuss that too as well in my upcoming Kim Clement 8 wells update. So, but right now, it looks like to me there is a buying opportunity, and maybe with what's going on with the elections, and so the precious metals market, this stock, if the precious metal market is not doing well, then of course it will affect Brixton Metals. So just like Zion Oil and Gas, you can only buy Brixton Metals, like on your TD Ameritrade or your E-Trade, Schwab, all those major platforms. You cannot buy this stock or Zion Oil stock on Webull or Robinhood. So it'll be interesting to see with this, and so I will do at some point an in-depth look at BBB. and see if there's anything else prophetically I can find about this particular stock outside of Kim Clement. Now, one of the things I do want to get straightened out here, folks, there's a lot of stocks that you can invest in. There's a lot of good stocks out there. And what this channel tries to do, we try to talk about prophetic stocks or prophetic related stocks. There's all types of opportunities you can get involved in. But the people who are into the prophetic stocks aren't necessarily traders, right? They're not day traders. Maybe you're retired and you never even thought about dealing with the stock market, but then you started getting involved with Zion Oil and getting involved with stocks because of Kim Clement. So there's not a lot of experience from the people that I have spoken with. There's not a lot of experience in the stock market among the people that I know that listen to this channel. And even now, with those people who have been involved, who have bought Zion Oil, BBB, and maybe you bought Ford too, because Kim Clement talked about Ford a lot when it was just $1, and then it shot up to I can't remember what, $9 or something like that. But even now, we're at a point to where we are really going to have to look at a lot of you. If you're going to be involved, you need to get a little bit more experience in actual trading and learning to trade. And so there's a lot of different aspects to trading that I don't even understand. But the most important thing is being able to get on the computer and be able to type in the amount of shares you want to sell, how much you want to sell them for, and be able to do that consistently, and all the other different options that you have with trading. And because we're going to be getting into, just as an example, we have the synchrotron technology, right? And since we've discussed that, the synchrotron technology, well, there might be multiple companies that are involved with that. So we have to study and then have to be able to discern. Because when that time comes, people are going to be presenting a lot of synchrotron technology. I mean, a lot of people may be presenting a lot of synchrotron companies or stocks, but we have to be aware, because just like in any other industry, not all the companies are going to be successful. But it's not just about learning about how to trade, but also being able to read, starting to learn the information, such as like SEC reports, and being able to go over that information, because those things may be very important in your decision making. Anyways, folks, I thank you for listening. Be patient. We might be headed into a storm, but all that remains to be seen. But we'll keep our focus on what's going on in the Middle East, and what's going on with the stock markets and our prophetic stocks and so on. So thank you for listening. Be safe. God bless. And with that being said, Twisted Christian out.